When you finally put a name to the thing that's holding you back, did you just take away some of its power or did you give it more? Stay with me, because at the end, I'm going to give you one question you can ask whenever you identify a problem that can help you determine whether you've just diagnosed something you can solve or created a really good excuse to keep it. We're constantly encouraged to identify our problems, and that makes sense. You can't fix something if you don't know what's wrong. Maybe you finally realize, I'm terrible at sales, or I'm a procrastinator. I'm not good with technology. I don't like networking. I'm not creative. I'm bad with money. There can actually be relief in putting a name to something. Suddenly there's an explanation. Oh, that's why this keeps happening. And sometimes that's incredibly valuable because once you understand the problem, you can work on it. But something else can happen. The diagnosis becomes the excuse. I'm just not a salesperson. Okay? So now what? Do you learn how to sell? Hire somebody who can? Change your sales process? Practice? Or does "I'm just not a salesperson" become the reason you never have to get better at it? That's a completely different outcome. I think we sometimes confuse understanding our limitations with accepting them permanently. Imagine someone saying, I finally figured out why my business isn't growing. I'm terrible at follow up. That's useful information. Now we know where to work. But if 6 months later they're still saying, well, you know me, I'm terrible at follow up, then the problem has changed. They're not diagnosing it anymore. They're protecting it. The label has become part of their identity. And once something becomes part of your identity, it becomes much harder to challenge because now fixing it almost means admitting something about yourself was wrong. I see the same thing happen when businesses identify external problems. Our customers are price sensitive. Our market is different. Nobody reads email anymore. Social media doesn't work for our industry. Maybe those things could absolutely be true. But what happens after you name them? Do they help you make a better decision? Or do they end the conversation? That's the distinction I think matters. Naming a problem should make it smaller, more specific, more understandable, more actionable. If naming it makes the problem bigger, more permanent, or gives you permission to stop trying, then the label may be doing more harm than the problem itself. Here's the question I promised you. The next time you identify something that's holding you back, ask yourself, now that I know what to call it, what can I do that I couldn't do before? If you have an answer, great, you've turned awareness into leverage. You can make a change, get help, build a system, learn something, test something, take action. But if naming the problem doesn't lead to anything except, well, that's just the way it is, be careful. You may not have conquered the problem by identifying it. You may have just given it a name and invited it to stay. Understanding a problem can take away its mystery, but action is what takes away its power. Thanks for joining me. I'm your Santa Barbara web guy, and I'll see you next time.